Boom, 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 boom. Greetings, and sun salutations. Shout outs to the family. Shout out to a new nation. So if this is your first time listening, or if you're coming back, we like to welcome you to a segment we call Right and Exact. So hope you came to listen. I hope you came to chill, but most importantly, I hope you came to build. Boom, boom, boom. Beat so separately, y'all. Let's go. He is I am him. Zach Latimer, Z Lat, take your pick, and you are now tuned in to another segment of Right and Exact. And guess what we are going to talk about today? I know it's just killing you. It's eating you up. I know. We're going to talk about success and progress. Success and progress, all right? Now, I went ahead and I looked up the definition for success. And I got basically the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Yes. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Now, I think the biggest thing here, the biggest thing that if you don't hear anything else, okay, you need to make sure that you are listening to the purpose. Okay? If you don't know your purpose, then everything else is going to start to confuse you. Okay? You need to know your purpose. What question were you sent down with from the Most High that you needed to answer? And if you don't know that question, then everything else is just only going to confuse you and start to throw you off your game and get you off track, off course. All right? So if you don't know that, go find it. Like, not now, but like right now. Go find what your purpose is. You need to figure that out. Now, once you know what your purpose is, well, then now you can start moving in said direction. Now, a lot of times people will say that if you miss your mark, right, that then all of a sudden you now are a failure, right? Now, the thing about that is you can't be a failure if you're still going in a direction that is moving into your said purpose, right? The only way that one can become a failure is if you start diverging from your path and diverging from your purpose. If you diverge from that and have things that take you away from the direction that you want to go in, then that is when you are a failure. Now, you are still successful even if you don't reach that goal or that mark. You still are successful because everything that is leading up into that point is still helping you build in a direction. Now, just because you're not the one that makes it doesn't mean that the person that comes behind you won't build on the step that you have left, the mark that wherever you're at, and then they build and they keep moving in a certain direction. I think the biggest thing to learn from this piece right here is something that Jay-Z said, that I will never lose, for even in defeat there is a valuable lesson learned, which evens it up for me. There is a valuable lesson learned in your failures, quote unquote, as long as you are moving in your said direction and your said purpose and still moving on your aim. The only way that you can fail again is diverging from that said purpose and said aim goal. Okay? Now, so the main thing now you want to do, don't try to reinvent or do everything new and throw out everything that was laid down, the groundwork that was laid in front of you, okay? Because there was some magnificent, excellent groundwork laid out in front of you. So be a person of scholarship, be a person of study, and definitely build on what was left in front of you while still respecting the root. Okay, you want to build, you want to go as high as you can go, but you still got to respect the root. All right? Once you start moving into that direction, that is success. So let's just say, and just know that success, and you have a successor. So just like if we look at it in the NBA, right? And they had the commissioner, the dude's name, I think his name was David Stern, right? And David Stern retired and he had a successor. And I don't know what the guy's name now is, but he comes along. So now, once he comes along and he takes the league and he wants to go a step or above what what already was laid, the foundation that was laid. You don't go up and rip it up and say, no, we changed the whole rules and we're going to do all of this and all of that. There's rules already in place that's working. So you take what's working and then you take it and you start to spread it out into different markets. You start to spread it out into different lands, right? So you are successful. And even if some of those ideas don't work, even if some of those ideas from that step that he was already on don't work, I mean, you still are successful because you're taking in and you're gaining knowledge from moving into a direction or your aim and your purpose, right? Okay. So, I think the biggest thing now though is to not get caught up on your desires though. See, now this is the tricky thing. A lot of people start to confuse success with the tools of success, and they get thrown off of their path and still and lose the objective or the overall achievement. Okay. Now, the tools of success would may look like you might get a nice car, you might get a nice house, you might get a beautiful wife or a husband or whatever. You might get one of these said things, right? But these are all tools. You might get a lot of money. But these are all tools. Tools to do what? Tools to do what? You see it, and I think this is why you see a lot of people when they get into these positions or they get these, they finally get to like, I always wanted to be a rapper, I always wanted to be this, or I always wanted to be that. And you start to see a lot of them, and you know what a lot of them end up saying is, man, this ain't what I thought it was. This ain't even, this ain't even that cool, man. This ain't. And I know a lot of us getting that, but as we're in a different position, we be like, nah, man, well, let me get there to see what it is. But again, those are all tools. And that's why it's not cracked out to what it is, because now they have lost. Okay, but what is the overarching thing of why you got this? There has to be something else. You want to make a better community, a better living for somebody, for yourself, for your family, for everybody else. Well, then you now have acquired a tool to get to another place. Now, what are you going to do with that tool? What are you going to do with that money? What are you going to do with that house? What are you going to do with that car? What is it for? To get you and elevate you to another purpose. Now, some people are like, well, you just keep, where does it stop? I don't know where it stops. Who cares? You just keep going. You keep building. You keep growing, and you enjoy the ride. But more importantly, you enjoy this whole thing we call success and progress. To build off of those, stand on the shoulders of those who laid down in front of you. Build on that, keep growing, and keep becoming a better you. And there's one thing that I don't forgot the brother's name, but he said something along the lines of, it's not that people aim the bar too high and miss, but it's that they aim the bar too low and hit. Okay? Don't get caught up in your fears. Okay? Shoot for the stars and you may land in the clouds. Now, if you land in the clouds, again, that's a step. You're successful. Even though you might have missed the mark, even though you have missed your aim, you still are moving forward. Okay? So now there's a step. So now guess what? When other people come behind you and then they start to shoot, well, they're going to use that step that you have laid down, that foundation, again, that pillar that you have set, and they're going to stand on your shoulders. And that is when they start moving up, and they might be the one to get to the stars. They may not be, but again, that's another step. So then once you start to see how everything is interconnected, then you start to see that actually you are successful and you are progressing. So don't get down on yourself. Don't get caught up. You keep moving. You keep marching, and you keep grinding, and we keep rising. This has been another segment. Thank you for tuning in. I will that you got something out of it. I will that you enjoyed. And I will that you have a wonderful day. I'm out. Deuces.